There have been some terrible tweets today, but I gotta give the gold medal for the worst 4th of July tweet to Ben & Jerry's. So, the overpriced ice cream company tweeted the following. This 4th of July, it's high time we recognize that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Learn more and take action now. Sketchy link below. And then they have a picture that pretty much says the same thing, because why not say twice? And if you still don't get the point, sign in front of firework. This is stolen land. And yes, it did get brutally ratioed for this tweet. And one of my favorite responses was from Joseph Massey. First, you need to apologize to the millions of cows you milked without consent. By the way, if you're curious, Ben & Jerry's is located in Waterbury, Vermont, which used to be occupied by the Abenaki and Mohican tribes. So I assume Ben & Jerry's will be surrendering its land first.
Just a moment ago, take a look at this. A federal judge says the Biden administration may have violated the First Amendment during the pandemic by censoring social media posts. Justice correspondent David Spun reports live from the D.C. newsroom. David, what can you tell us?
Hi, Jillian. This is a temporary injunction, not a final ruling. However, this temporary injunction could have major implications on free speech. It came down today on a federal holiday from a federal judge in Louisiana. Judge Terry Doughty blocked officials and agencies in the Biden administration from communicating with social media companies, think Facebook, Google, Twitter, about the topic of protected speech. Judge Doughty is based on a prior lawsuit brought by Republican attorneys general in Louisiana and Missouri. He ruled on that. Among other complaints, the attorneys general say the Biden administration overreached its authority during the height of the COVID pandemic when they tried to convince social media companies to address, in some case, take down posts on platforms that could contribute to vaccine hesitancy. Now, according to Judge Doughty, quote, the plaintiffs, meaning the attorneys general, have presented substantial evidence in support of their claims that they were the victims of a far-reaching and widespread censorship campaign. This court finds that they are likely to succeed on the merits of their First Amendment free speech claim against the defendants being the Biden administration. Now the administration, as have administrations in recent years, develop close relationships, Jillian, with social media companies. Sometimes those relationships are hot and cold, depending on the topic, but the administration, also the independent FBI and DOJ, are in frequent contact with these social media companies, especially covering the DOJ. I see it with fentanyl and other types of trafficking. They reach out frequently to these social media companies. We'll have to see how that all plays into the future now that this judge has ruled this injunction. Now, it reached out to DOJ a little while ago, got an email back, DOJ officially declining to comment. And again, this is not a final ruling, but it's clear the judge is leaning in a specific way. Jillian.
And we're here for one simple reason. President Biden needs to consider using the 14th Amendment if necessary. The entire GOP debt ceiling negotiation is a sad charade. And that's exactly what's wrong in Washington. We're playing with the livelihoods of millions just so the GOP can just turn the screws against hungry Americans. This is the whole reason why the 14th Amendment exists. We need to be prepared to be using it. Again, remember, say that again. We must be prepared in order to use it.
Oh my God. Staples actually sells staples.
That's my favorite.
It's reality.
That's why I like TikTok so much. And like, I'm sorry if you don't like TikTok, sign up today. Give up your information a little bit. That's fine. The Chinese, what are they going to do with it? But you get videos like this.
Oh my God. Staples actually sells staples.
You're not into the shorts at all?
Oh, I mean,
and I don't mean her shorts. I mean
her shorts. I thought you were talking about her shorts. Yes, I'm definitely into her shorts.
YouTube shorts.
I mean, is it the same kind of thing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
Oh my God. Staples actually sells staples.
I could pause it all day long and play it all day long.
Too funny.
So much to talk about today. There was cocaine found in the White House.
Big shock there.
I think, was Hunter over? Did he like a sleepover at the White House?
4th of July party.
Yeah, it was a big fireworks display.
That's right.
It was funny because I heard the story over the weekend and I tried to look it up today. And let's see. No ABC story had it. No CBS news outlet had it. Fox News had it. All the fringe
has it. Newsy or whatever.
Yeah, the liberal media didn't have the story at that time about. Now I heard it 3 days ago or 2 days ago or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was even yesterday. It doesn't matter. But I heard it long before, and before I searched it, I couldn't find it. Now everybody's got it all of a sudden.
Sure. Well. Because they didn't do a good enough job of hiding it, so now it's out there.
Because they're actually asking questions. The media was asking questions today at the White House.
That's right.
And they refused to answer anything. Oh, it's in a high traffic area. Ask somebody else about it. It's a Secret Service thing.
Yeah, okay.
Why they hired that black lesbian to get up there and talk, I have no idea. I mean, I'm only saying it that way because that's what they described her as, and that's why they hired her, because she's fantastic. But she doesn't say a damn thing. All she does is say, somebody else has that story. Somebody else will take care of it. If you have any questions, call somebody else.
Well, was Raggedy Ann any better?
No, we'll circle back.
Yeah, what's her name? Psaki?
Jen Psaki?
Yeah, Jen Psaki. I always called her Raggedy Ann because she looked like, with the red hair, she looked like Raggedy Ann.
So, but she was terrible too. I don't know. And then this story came out today about the White House was obviously colluding with social media, shocker, to take down posts about the C word. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, and I
think we can say COVID now. And you know what? If we can't, fuck them. Take it off YouTube then.
Literally, the story is out there that they colluded with social media to take down posts about COVID, mask efficiency, whatever you want to call it, and the vaccines and all that kind of stuff. And they took down stuff, and it was against the First Amendment.
Sure. Dude, we had over on YouTube for Classic Metal Show, we had over 20 videos taken down when we talked about COVID. 20. 20 hours of talk taken away.
I mean, this show was flagged numerous times over ideas or thoughts. God forbid you have a thought of your own.
Yeah.
And so I'm hesitant to even bring it up now, but I mean, it is what it is. There's this. I played the story. That's the problem that social media has, is even when you present facts and say, here's the actual story.
Yeah.
Here's the facts of the story. They still take it down.
Well, the problem is now, if they don't like the facts, they'll say, well, what's the source? And your source there was Fox News, so therefore it's bad.
I guess, but it's everywhere. I guess I should have picked a different source.
You should have found Morning Joe's version of the story or something like that. Then you'd be okay.
And a laptop, yeah. They also pushed the laptop story.
What laptop? I didn't know there was a laptop.
Yeah, there is no laptop. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I watched the news. I never heard about a laptop.
Good afternoon, Seth and Chris. Glad to be here today with you. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend.
Well,
How was your weekend? Was it fun? Did you do anything great yesterday on the 4th of July?
No, worked.
See, I didn't bother you.
No one
for
did.
The first
it was
time
nice.
ever. Huh?
It was nice. No one did.
For the first time ever, I didn't call you. I didn't do it. I sent you a text.
Yeah.
That was it.
I didn't even get a text from my mom saying happy 4th of July or nothing. It was all quiet, and I loved it. I literally worked all day and watched a season and a half of. I'm just stuck in the mob world.
Yeah.
There's a show on Hulu for anybody that has Hulu. I think it's on like Epix, or I think that has a new name too. Everybody is sold all of a sudden, so it's not like Epix anymore. I think it's MGM plus minus or something. But whatever it is, the show is called Godfather of Harlem, which stars Vincent D'Onofrio and Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
It is fantastic for people that like mob stuff. Oh my God. It's about the 5 families. It's sort of based in truth, but they admit that they made stuff up. It's about the 5 families, and it's about Bumpy Johnson, who was kind of like the black leader of the gangland in Harlem at that time,
right,
that worked with the mob. And it's about Malcolm X because he had a close relationship with Malcolm X. It is a fantastic, fantastic series for anybody that's looking for something cool to watch and likes the mafia stuff. And since I'm still having a little bit of Francis hangover, I'm still stuck in the mafia a little bit. And I did yesterday. I must have watched 12 hours of that show yesterday.
I gotta get into something. I've been so busy for the past week. My wife had off for the past week.
Right.
Week and a half, actually. So we've been doing nothing but like door dashing and going out and doing stuff. And, I haven't been home at all.
Right.
Which I guess is kind of nice.
Sure.
Because, I don't get out very much when she is working. I'm just kind of stuck here.
Sure.
So it was nice to get out of the house a little bit. But it was really nice today to kind of wake up and go, yeah, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Sit around and I'll get dressed when I feel like getting dressed. And
Yeah. I'm with you, dude. I hope. I don't want to say I would never, but I hope to never have to go back to a job again. Because I can't even imagine getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning every stupid day, putting on my stupid clothes to make me look right for whatever office I'm going to, so I could sit in a cubicle and answer phones or run people's lives or whatever it would be. No thanks.
See, I wouldn't mind. It depends on what the job is, I guess. I was never a cubicle guy. I had a cubicle at the radio station at one point.
Yeah.
And one of the bosses came in and said, "Do you really need a cubicle?" I said, "Well, yeah, like I have pictures of my family up there and stuff."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, I don't think you need one though." I said, "Well, I was given one, so I'd like to keep one. It has pictures and stuff, and I go sit there at times to look at research stuff and everything else. And I don't think you need one." Okay, well, thank you. And then he took it.
Then they gave it to someone else.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. No, I did the cubicle thing for a while, and might have been the worst 10 years of my life. I hated sitting in a cubicle and having people walk behind you and just looking in to see what you're doing. It's like, you know what? Go away. Just go away. The job will get done if you leave me alone.
iHeart decided that they were going to get rid of the actual "thank you for dressing for the show."
Me or you?
Both, I guess.
Yeah. I've got my "Do MILFs Not Drugs" shirt on, so.
I got my Mickey shirt on.
There you go.
iHeart decided they were going to do like this progressive thing, like where they got rid of like actual cubicles like with the box shapes and stuff, where people were like kind of like inside these little cubicles.
Yeah.
So they made these little pod kind of things, so everything was open.
Right.
So there were still cubicle spaces where each person had their own separate desk, but you could see everybody as you walked around. They could see you sitting at the table and all that kind of stuff. They had the desk thing that you could stand up and do your work instead of sitting down. It was very progressive and fucking retarded, to be honest with you. It was stupid.
Yeah, nobody got any work done, right?
Nobody got any work done because they're all sitting there talking. And then they decided they're going to eliminate half the people anyways. So then all he had was these empty desks just sitting there. Just
Sure.
dumb. And it was more work for people to create than it was for people to actually have fun doing.
Right. Yeah, dude, the cubicle thing is definitely outdated, but it's still, I think you'd rather have a cubicle than a small, like the half. Have you seen the half cubicle thing?
Yeah.
That, I can't even imagine. I would be constantly looking up to see if the other person is looking at me. You know, the person that you're sharing the half wall with or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a big cubicle guy.
Yeah, dude, did you ever see the show? There was a show on Apple TV called Severance.
No.
It's a weird thing, and I won't get into all of it, but there was 4 of them in a room, and they sat at a crisscross, like a 4-way cubicle.
Yeah.
But it didn't have any height at all. It was literally like the height of a coffee cup.
Yeah.
So the guys just ended up doing no work and spending all their time staring at each other. It was the dumbest shit ever. I was like, and this is what they're going to in the real world? That's crazy.
Natalie was at her daughter Jennifer's for a cookout. Went to some Scott's for fireworks. Had a great day.
That's good.
Cookout. So that was good. Good for her. Good for Natalie. We didn't do anything like barbecue wise or family wise. Nothing like that.
Me either. I mean, nothing.
I didn't do anything firework wise. I mean, there's other than sitting on a patio and listening to the fireworks. Couldn't see him because it's all wooded back here, so I couldn't really.
Dude, even that's more than I did. I am telling you, I went hermit style. I just disappeared for a day and got out of everybody's life because, as you're well aware, I'm always on the phone. Always. During the day, I probably log, in an 8-hour day, I probably log 7 hours of phone calls. So I don't get a ton of work done. So to have a day where I could just close the door and turn the TV up real loud and not answer a phone all day long, oh my God. That was like the first time walking into a brothel. Oh.
Nice. The one thing I did realize is that over the course of my time being outside with the public is that people don't do their fucking jobs anymore. They just don't. Nobody does their jobs. Mm-mm. Like it was insane to sit there and go to like different stores. I went to an ice cream place the other day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now it's a frozen yogurt place,
right? Because
I wanted to eat low fat, no sugar, kind of whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it's called ice cream at that point,
right?
But the kind where you walk in, I'll just say the name of the place. It was a Sweet Frog. You ever been to one of those?
I've never been to it. No.
And so you go in. There's a wall of dispensary things. So you can pull down which flavor you want, and put your cup, fill it up, and then put all your toppings on. And then you weigh it, and you pay whatever to the cashier that's sitting there. Now, this broad that was sitting there, I'm not going to make fun of her for anything, but other than the fact that she doesn't know how to do a damn job.
Mm-hmm.
So we fill up her ice cream, whatever, and my wife wants this peanut butter sauce. So it's in a bottle.
Right.
And she's squeezing the bottle, and nothing's coming out of it. Nothing but like fart noises and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I mean, there's obviously nothing left in the damn bottle of peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife is desperately shaking this bottle, trying to get. Looks really bad what I'm doing, but she was desperately just trying to get the stuff out of there.
Yeah.
And the girl looks at her and goes, "Yeah, I meant to fill that earlier." Now, the appropriate response would be, "Ma'am, hang on. I see that that's out of peanut butter. I'll happily go back to the back and get you another bottle. Or
let me take care of that for you." Right.
Let me take care of that.
Sure.
No, it was, you could give me the empty bottle. And it never did anything. So my wife now has 3 little squirts of this stupid peanut butter sauce on her ice cream. And then we pay for this. And then she has the nerve to ask for a tip. After the fact. Yeah, a tip. So
wait a minute. You walk in and you make the sundae. And then they want you to tip them?
Yeah, they have like one of those things where you put your card in, and then the card has a screen, and it says, how much tip do you want to leave?
For what?
Well, that's what I was saying. On top of that, she didn't do her job when it came down to.
But even
push
if
and shove,
she
had to
did,
do something.
Even if she did, what was the whole interaction with you? If she had done her job, would have been what, to hand you a bowl or a cone or something?
Literally, no, she didn't have to touch anything because we put it on the scale ourselves.
So why would you have to tip her?
I don't know, for refilling the toppings, I guess.
Get out of here.
And literally, when there was no peanut butter, she had one job to do, and that's go back and get an extra bottle. Decided not to do that.
Sure.
So then later...
Dude, they're all a mess. Go ahead, finish yours, because I got one to match, because that happened to me just the other day.
Tipping is out of control, too. We'll get into that. But
yeah.
So then later that night, we decided, okay, we've been out all day, we've been working, and we're going to get some dinner and go home. Now, a lot of places were closed yesterday because of the holiday. So we had one bar that was happening to be open. I even called earlier to see if they were open for dinner. It's close to the house. We can get some food and go home.
Yeah.
And so I ordered what I wanted, and I ordered a side of tater tots or some crap. I'm sorry, sir, we're out of those. So, okay, well then I'll take this. I'm sorry, sir, we're out of that. Okay, well, what do you have for the side? All right, I'll take that. Then I said my wife would like a salad. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're out of lettuce. I said, okay. Then she wants the buffalo chicken wrap. And she goes, well, that comes with lettuce too, so we're out of that.
Unbelievable.
Well, okay, Heather, what do you want? She's like, just give me an order of wings. I just want to go home. I said, okay. So I ordered the wings. And she goes, no, I'm sorry, we're out of those. We have boneless only. I said to the lady, you know what do you have on the menu? I called earlier to make sure that you had a kitchen that was open.
Yeah.
And now you have nothing that we want.
Right.
If there's nothing there to eat, then close the kitchen. I said, you know what? We'll go somewhere else. And thank God there was a Subway that was open down the street.
Sure. Dude, look at Rick in the chat here. Look at this. Went to one of those pickup only Pizza Huts and they had a tip jar.
Yeah.
For what? Now, so dude, I had on Monday after the show and after the Chris Aiken Presents after it, I had a late night delivery set up with Walmart because as I've told many times, I do not go to stores.
Right.
Like for any reason, I do not go to stores. So I get all my groceries and stuff sent to me. So my son and I, we had really let everything run down to like, you know how, remember when you were a bachelor and you would run everything down to where you'd have like one burrito in the freezer and
hell yeah,
you know, a lot of half drank bottles of water and stuff like that. You know, we were down to it. So we ordered a big load of groceries, you know, from Walmart. It was like, $220, $230 or something. Pretty big, large order of groceries, right? Shit was supposed to come at like 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock rolls. Me and my son, we aren't paying any attention to the door. But I don't know if you've ever ordered from the grocery store, like your groceries or whatever.
Yeah.
But if they just drop them off, they shoot you a text or an email.
Yeah.
That just says, hey, your stuff's been delivered. And you know, because you do DoorDash, that's usually when everybody gets up and goes over and gets their stuff.
Yes.
Well, we were not paying it. Usually we'll meet them at the door, especially with the groceries, because you want to make sure you get all your groceries. But on this one occasion, neither one of us was paying attention or whatever. So they left them at the door. Or so we thought. My son goes to the door. Could not have been 2 minutes after the text arrived. There's no groceries. Now, there's a lot of groceries. $220, $30 worth of groceries.
Right.
There's nothing there except a box of Pampers. Which, obviously, that is not needed here.
No, you don't need that.
You know, so... you're not, if it was $10, I might just eat it. You know, I might just reorder it and not even go, because it's a hassle. But $230, it's a hassle I'm having.
Yes.
So I go through the hassle of it. Of course, there's no phone call to call and just say, hey, call your driver. They brought the wrong order, which is obviously what happened. They just dropped off the wrong order. No, I can't do that. So I have to do it through an automated bot on the the website, which took 45 minutes, to which they said, well, we're going to refund your money, but it's going to be 7 to 10 days.
Of course.
7 to 10 days.
No.
And I'm like, all right, I'm thankful that I have more money that I can reorder my groceries. But what would they do for the person that literally lives paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah.
And can't eat now for a week? You know, if you were down to your last $50 or something, and they took $200 and held it, and you didn't get your groceries, you're screwed.
What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, and that could be really, really, really screwing somebody. And I just was like, damn, thank God I'm not in that situation. And I spent most of my life in that situation. So, you know, most of my life, them holding $200, they might as well have been holding $10 zillion because it was everything I had.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened to us at numerous times in our lives, that we absolutely would have been screwed. I don't know what we would have done.
Dude, I can remember when I was much younger, I can remember purposely writing bad checks, but spacing them out so that I knew when I would get paid to cover the fees.
Right.
And I'd be like, well, you know, and then I would go crazy instead of going to like Giant Eagle or something.
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm going to get a $35 charge, well, I'm going to go to Sam's Club and I'm going to buy $450 worth of groceries. I'm going to buy as much as I can so that I can, you know, if I'm going to pay 35 extra, I'm going to get a lot for that $35.
Yeah, we used to do that. There were times, definitely, when we were struggling, and we would write a check, and like because I knew that they would take a check, and they didn't like check the account before they just took the check. And so on the day before payday, and there was nothing. I mean, we were like,
yeah,
we need some food,
right?
Home. We're gonna write this check at this little buy right store that we go to, and
sure,
and know that they're not going to cash it or check it until tomorrow because tomorrow the money will be there.
Right.
But
try to get to
right
know
now,
and try to get to know the clerk and say, hey, can you hold that one till tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm
put
laughing
a new system in eventually, and it was like they'd scan the check, and I was like, oh, please God, don't scan it. Please God, don't scan it.
I remember that.
There's nothing there.
And the check would run through the little scanner thing.
But I think that was just to make sure that the account was good.
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily to see if the money was there. But there were times in my life where that was, please God, let us get food tonight. Please.
I'm going to answer this. Natalie says, just go to the store, Chris. That's untrue. That's untrue. I won't have that kind of problem. But that's the first time I've had that kind of problem in probably 6 years of buying groceries. By contrast, I've been kicked out of 3 or 4 different Walmarts for fighting with people in the stores. I can't go to the stores. I can't deal with the stupidity of people in the stores. You know, and I mean, dude, you go to the stores, everybody in there's a moron.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Everybody in the store, they're going down the wrong way on the aisles or they stand in front of something for far too long looking at the ingredients on a ragu bottle.
Yeah, you should know what spaghetti sauce you're going in for before you get to the store.
Yeah, it's just,
all right.
You should just be able to just run through it, be done. 20 minutes in and out of the grocery store.
Someone living paycheck to paycheck probably shouldn't pay delivery fees for groceries. Maybe you're right, but at the same time, you don't see like what I see every single day. When you DoorDash, you see some weird shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, you see people that have no money. Yeah. Because you look at the home that they live in, they don't have a nickel. Yet they're buying DoorDash and they're getting food that costs a lot of money. I mean, they're getting sandwiches and dinners from places. I got one delivery. It was to it had to be a crack house. I mean, the windows are busted out. There's bars on the doors.
Sure.
But yet there's a Mercedes parked inside the driveway.
Right.
Which is fantastic. But she ordered Arctic salmon and this and like 10 different things. No tip.
Yeah.
Because she didn't have the money to tip. But you're ordering that kind of food and you live in the kind of squalor that you live in. It doesn't make any sense, but they do it all the time.
Yeah. I will say to who's put that up there about living paycheck. There it is. To Mark, I'll only say with Walmart, it's cheap. You can pay $10 a month and get as many deliveries as you want for that $10. If you pay them up front $10 a month, you can get as many deliveries as you want, and that's all the fees you pay is just that $10. That's not nothing.
And my wife and I did the curbside pickup from Walmart the other day because we had a bunch of stuff we had to get done during the day. Didn't have time to go walk around the store and get everything that we needed, and so she just ordered stuff online. And if you spend like $50, which these days with the inflation, all that kind of stuff, $50 get you like a steak and
exactly.
can of pop.
Right.
And so, I mean, if you spend $50, it's free, no service fees for the curbside pickup. You just pull out in one of their spots, you call the number, and then they walk it out to you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to walk around the store. You just get it for nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty solid there too. Yeah, I mean, it is convenient, and like I said, even the delivery, like, because I used to do the delivery, and we would always tip real high. We still do. I mean, we still will tip. Like, I'll tell you, on that one, the 200 and whatever one, the tip we gave was $17.50. So we gave a nice tip, and don't think for a second I didn't turn it into a zero when my shit didn't get here and all I got was the Pampers.
Yeah.
I went right on and turned that into a zero. I was like, no, you didn't deliver me nothing.
Look, there are certain jobs. Talking about tipping, there are certain jobs. We had 10 years coming up at some point today, right? I don't know.
4:45, yeah.
All right, and so 10 years. The band going to be joining us at 4:45. Tony Masaccio a little bit later. Tipping is out of control. Everybody expects a damn tip. Now, look, with what we do as our little side hustle to deliver food and crap to people, whatever it is. Sometimes it is groceries. There are more times than not anymore where people just don't leave even $1. Like, again, if you have money to be dashing food to your home, especially some of these big mansions that we go to, and you don't tip $1, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. No, there is.
But there are certain jobs that deserve a tip. There are certain jobs that don't deserve a tip. A girl that works at a ice cream store where you make your own ice cream doesn't deserve a tip for doing literally nothing.
Yeah, well, and not only that, you got to earn the tip. It's not a gratuity. It is a tip. It is a extra bit of money for doing something. You got to earn it. Like I'm a notorious crazy tipper when I'm at the bar, because A, I get drunk, and B, I don't care. So so if I'm at the bar and all my friends know this about me, if my drink stays full, the girl's gonna walk out with probably like a 30 to 40% tip. I mean, I'm a big tipper at the bar, but they got to keep me well alcoholed. That's what they have to do. And if they do that, I will tip like crazy. But if they don't, I'm not opposed to leaving $1 on a $300 bill if they don't do the job, because that's the job. Keep my drink full. That's the whole job.
I saw somebody on Facebook the other day that said that 20% is not the normal now for tipping. That if you're going to tip at a restaurant, it should be at least 30%.
Yeah, bullshit.
Now,
for what?
You got to actually earn the tip. I mean, that's the point of the tip. Look, I'm not a cheap tipper either. I always leave what I think is appropriate, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. It's gotten crazy there that it is that much. Here, did you see this guy that cussed out the lady for only giving him a $5 tip?
No.
Let me put this up. You'll laugh at this. Share screen. It's DoorDash, too. Maybe it was you.
Might have been.
Check this out. You'll see him. Here he comes.
Hello.
Come here, Max. Next.
Watch this.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
What the hell?
What?
Go ahead.
Because I do this like every single day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Look, some of these houses are. I mean, we go to some houses like in Richfield and stuff like that. that are mansions. I mean, we went to a neighborhood the other day where Shaq used to live when he played for the Cavs.
Okay.
And we literally got, I don't even know if we got a tip for the delivery because it was obviously a kid of some rich family that ordered the food and didn't tip anything.
Right.
One house, the guy said, "Did my daughter tip?" I said, "I don't think so, no." And he went back inside and got money.
Right.
Because, but look, we're providing the service.
Yeah.
And it costs a lot of money for gas. And what people don't understand is DoorDash doesn't give you a whole lot of extra money like on the side. I mean, it's a couple of dollars, depending on what time of day it is. You may get $2.25 for your.
But
your
$5 is a good tip on a pizza, right? I mean,
$5 is a good tip on a pizza.
He got a pizza and that looked like a pizza and breadsticks.
Yeah. Now I saw another video the other day of a girl that was walking up with an order to the house, and she goes, rings the ring doorbell or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's on camera and she goes, "Yeah, you're supposed to pay me." And she goes, "I did over the app." She says, "No, there was no tip." And she goes, "Yeah, no, I just paid over the app." And so the girl takes the food and flings it across the yard and just walks away. And then you hear the girl yell, "Mom, the girl flung my food across the yard." And she's like, "Why?" "Because I didn't tip." And then the video ends.
Well, you got it. I mean, and I'm pro tip guy. I am definitely pro tip guy. I'm my daughter does DoorDash as her main job. So and before that she did pizza and everything else. And I did pizza back in the day. I used to deliver for Domino's and Solon. So I've done that job to respect the job. This guy that we just showed here with the pretty big house for a $5 tip. Well, you still only delivered a $20 pizza.
Right. No.
I don't care if I live in a $10 billion house. It's not my job to make you wealthy doing the same job that you would be happy for a $5 tip on in another neighborhood.
I don't know if you can EBT DoorDash. I don't
They
know.
do. They absolutely do take EBT.
Oh, do they? I did not know that.
Yes, they do take
There's
EBT.
my answer to a lot of questions.
That's probably how they can afford to get the stuff.
Write down addresses, then refuse for the order. You don't see those addresses before you take the order. You're taking an order kind of blind. You just kind of see where it's going, like what neighborhood it's going to.
Yeah.
And then if you don't take orders, like if you deny orders, there are plenty of orders that we get. We're looking at, man, that's a really, really bad neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't take the orders, then you have a percentage rating that goes down every time that you decline something.
Yeah.
And so, you want to call and say, all right, I don't want to decline this stuff, but you're sending me to a war zone. There's a good possibility I'm not making it out of there.
Dude, you got to just kind of let that go, though. That's a little trick DoorDash has to convince you to keep taking those shitty orders. Because I know my daughter tells me all the time her rating's like 20% or something, like it's terrible. But she just knows anywhere that she has a certain mileage versus price, and if she's not making this much money for this many miles, she's not taking it, no matter where it is. And she's at a 20%, and she bought a house.
Yeah, I talked to a guy the other day. Actually, my wife did. We were at Bob Evans picking up an order, and there was a bunch of. You don't know how many delivery people are out there like this, man. And it's all shapes and sizes and ages and everything else. But this guy was sitting next to her waiting for an order, too. He had to be in his 60s.
Sure.
And they got into a conversation about waiting for the food and stuff. He's like, yeah, but you know what? He's like, I do this 5 days a week. I do it from 8 a.m. to like 4 or 5 o'clock at night. And he showed her his earnings from last year on his phone.
Right.
Now, he did, I think, Uber. It's not DoorDash, but he did Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah.
And his earnings for last year, for just delivering food like we're doing, was $80,000 for the year.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
$80,000.
If you hustle and you know how to work the system, you can, like I said, my daughter bought a house and a car and makes her car payments and her house payments and everything from DoorDash. That's all she does. DoorDash. And she doesn't work 12 hours a day. She goes out around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
My daughter was still in South Carolina. They took some Ubers when they got stuck on planes and stuff all over the country. And the Uber driver that they had said that just doing Uber driving, he made $115,000 or something like that last year.
Well, it's the equivalent of a limo driver now.
That's insane. Now, I don't want my wife doing Uber driving people actually in her car, nor do I want to do it now with one leg. It's a slightly terrifying scenario when you get somebody in the back that is going to be a bad customer.
Unless you can buy the glass and put it in between, then you don't want to do it.
Right. Or you better be packing.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we should be packing sometimes, to be honest with you.
I can't believe you don't.
I mean, going to some of these neighborhoods, man, it's rough. There's some neighborhoods where we're just driving down the street and you're getting looks like, what the hell are you doing here?
Dude, I carry everywhere now. Everywhere. And I don't go very many places, but when I did, like today, I went out to the bank today, I definitely was carrying. And I live in Twinsburg. There's nothing going on in Twinsburg. I think there's been 2 shootings in 20 years. But still, I just don't trust anybody. I watched too much TikTok to see what's going on out there to let that happen to me. I just am not. If somebody tries to get into my car, they're going to catch lead. That's just the way it goes.
Some restaurants are imposing surcharges.
Yeah, that is true.
Like I went to a restaurant the other night on my birthday on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really nice restaurant, great place. Food was fantastic. And the owner was a dick, so I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant, but he was just an ass.
Okay.
And, it made you never want to go back. It was really, really good food.
Wow. Okay.
But the owner was just an ass.
Okay.
And so I will never go back there again. But the waitress was stellar. And so we left a really good tip for her to the point where she came back and said, "Hey, do you need change for that?" I said, "No."
Right.
And she was shocked that we didn't need change. And it's like, well, no, you were really good.
Yeah.
Like, you were friendly. You came over. You talked to us. You asked us how things were going. You were always there for, refill the drink or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a really good way. If you do your job, then you get tipped appropriately.
Of course.
And the restaurant shouldn't have to add surcharges or anything else to it.
Mm-hmm. Dude, back in the day before there was DoorDash, when it was just ordering pizza, when basically the only things you ordered was pizza and Chinese food, anything that we ordered would be here in 20 minutes. Because they had us marked in their systems as good tippers. So they would definitely hustle our pizza out and put everything else to the back because they knew that they'd come here and get like a $7-8 tip on a $20 pizza.
Yeah.
And that's 1,000% why I did it. It wasn't because I was generous. I'm not generous. I just wanted my food like immediately, and if that meant I had to pay a couple bucks more, and that made the drivers like me, cool, bring it. I'm game.
Dumb question. When did Seth start driving? Still kind of not driving. I mean, I have a car that has the equipment to drive. So my wife does all this DoorDash driving. I just go along to navigate and make sure that if something bad happens, I'm there.
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do without a gun?
I'm going to throw a prosthetic leg at somebody. But I do my car.
Shake your finger. Hey!
Stop. Put that gun down. Quit robbing my wife now.
Knock it off, pal.
I will toss his leg at you, and it is very heavy.
That's right. It'll leave a mark.
But I do have a car that has the equipment thanks to Charlie's Auto Repair in Lakewood.
Well, that's cool.
Have a stick that I can, accelerate and then stop with
my
hand.
Right. Are you getting better at using it, or have you not really driven much?
I'm decent with using. I'm going to put that comment up in a second, Dick.
I see it.
But I'm getting better at using it, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. Now the issue is, so the other day I was supposed to have an hour-long meeting with my hospital to go over everything.
Sure.
And the girl called off sick. It just so happens that she called off freaking sick on a Friday before a long holiday weekend.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure she was really ill. And now they've called to schedule another appointment with me. So I keep having to wait month after month for this stupid crap.
Right.
Why is Billy Morris so damn good looking?
I don't think he is he?
You don't think? I don't think he is.
His wife is.
His wife is extremely good looking.
But Billy, no.
Billy, not so much. Billy thanks to Lucky Stars that he knows how to play a freaking guitar every day of his life.
Yeah. Billy, There's people that marry up,
Yeah.
and then there's Billy that took a rocket to marry as far up as he did.
Not only that, I mean, she's like a successful businesswoman and everything else.
Yeah. Plus, she does all his yard. I saw pictures of over the weekend or over the holiday. She's out there digging up and building planters and stuff around the house, and Billy's sitting in a chair asleep.
And he's got the life.
Yeah, he has got the life.
He doesn't have to take our calls because he doesn't like doing that. So, he's literally got nothing to do.
We probably ought to just call Leah.
Yeah. We can have her on the show.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, there's.
All right. Let's take a quick break and then we'll get to our guest.
All right. Sounds great.
Quick break. 10 years. Joining us in just a few. Hang on.
Coming up in a few.
Hey, it's Seth. And I appreciate you watching today. And you can make a difference. For just $4.99 a month, you can help save someone's life today. It really does count. Every dollar matters. And you can change someone's life. Not these ridiculous dogs. Those are actor dogs. I'm talking about myself and Chris Aiken. I could barely afford a shave and a haircut, or sleeves on a shirt sometimes. We could use your assistance today. Just go to the Odyssey app. Go to the Odyssey website. ODYSEE. Just $4.99 a month can change the world for someone today. Myself and Chris Aiken. We'll give you extra content. We'll give you bonus footage. We'll give you new episodes. Subscribe to the Odyssey channel today. Thank you.
Hey everybody, it's Don Dockin. When I'm feeling nostalgic, I always go to Pinball PA. You gotta go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Stop what you're doing and start making memories at Pinball PA, located at 2284 Broadhead Road, Suite 10B in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. We have over 420 video games and pinball machines to play, and all games are set to free play, so no quarters or tokens are needed. Pinball PA is open 6 days a week, and is the best and most affordable entertainment spot in all of Western Pennsylvania. Check out our website at www.pinballpa.com for more details. Come visit Pinball PA today. Initials up.
Aaron Tees and Signs has become your complete one-stop sign shop. Call Jimmy at 216-299-9344. Their friendly and professional staff can and will help you build your company brand and identity from start to finish. One stop means you get a complete package from one location. Custom logo design, vehicle graphics, banners, t-shirts, storefront marquees, and so much more. Aaron Tees and Signs, 4883 Turney Road. Call us at 216-299-9344.
From pride, tripping over the fault lines, knowing all this time that silence doesn't make a sound. When it comes to pointing the blame, everyone's got something to say, screaming for change, but staying the same, expecting the cycle to break. I don't want your cure, I don't need your savior to give me a sign of life underneath.
Up right there, man. Been 10 years. Jesse joins us. How are you, my friend?
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can.
Okay,
Welcome
great.
to the show.
Should I have my phone turned the other way?
You can.
Is it better that way?
Yeah, it'll be it'll get id of the black bars.
Yeah, my computer is being a turd, so I had to fight it. So, and all my nice stuff, just typical typical for whenever you're trying to. Hold on. Here we go.
There it is.
Yeah. Let me get me set up here.
There
Sorry
he
about
is.
the tardiness.
No, it's all good, man.
All good, man.
Yeah. There we are. Cool.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Well, dude, you're obviously busy, man. Getting ready to go out and hammer the festival run, huh?
Yeah, always. Summertime's a good time to get in front of a bunch of people. So we love festival season.
Very cool. Are you a fan of festivals? I know some bands love the festivals because you reach 30,000 people at a hit. Other bands hate it because you don't reach your core fans as much as a bunch of people kind of wandering around and they might hear a song and check you out, sort of thing.
Yeah, I kind of think that we really try to embrace the opportunity to get in front of people that might not know us that well or have never heard us. So it's a great platform to try to grab new fans or even catch up with old ones that we haven't heard from in a while. And the hardcore fans their complaint is always the set list is not long enough, or right. It's too hot and it's hard to get a beer and a place to take a piss. But we just embrace it, man, because the festival is just there's such a camaraderie with all the other bands and everything, and it's just a great platform to get in front of a sea of people.
Now, see, I was a rock DJ for 12 years, and you guys came around actually. I did it from 98 till 2003 or something like that. So you guys were around for pretty much my run of doing that stuff, actually longer than that. And I love your music, love it, absolutely big fan. But I, as far as festivals go, would rather see you guys come to a venue where I can sit down and watch the bands that I love and not sit through 20 other bands to see you guys.
Yeah.
I that's me. I want to see the band that I've been playing for a decade or more, and I want to see you guys.
Yeah, that's the give and take, especially when it's a festival where there's these multiple days and they've got multiple stages, and they're like, you get 45 minutes at 4:30, and we're like, okay, well, what we try to we play a different show too. So in that situation, we know what it is. Everybody's hot. They've seen it might be day 2 or 3 into the festival, so we try to give them a different show. That's where I'll come out in a crazy outfit or bring a raft and crowd raft across the people, and it's just it's more gas pedal to the floor, just wide open adrenaline and energy for 45 minutes, more than like you're talking about in a more intimate setting where we get to play a full set. There's a lot more peaks and valleys, and as a band, we play a lot of heavy stuff, we play a lot of light stuff. We're all over the place. We don't have just like AC/DC or Motorhead. It's not just one sound. So it's you get more of that experience as more of a fan at our shows. So hopefully we can continue that with the people we get interested in us at the festivals. Okay, now come check us out in our long format.
Right on, man. Well, dude, let's talk about the last few years, because like every other band on the planet, you guys got derailed just like everybody else. Everybody got to sit home. Awful time for some, and then I've talked to other bands that have said that it was a good time because it gave you time, to recharge the batteries after going hard for so many years, but it also gave you a little bit of extended time to kind of write and maybe hone your craft a little bit. So where did the pandemic play out for you, and how do you look at it now looking back?
Looking back, with everyone, I think that to be on the planet during a worldwide pandemic we'll be able to tell our grandkids, because
sure.
As it was all unfolding, no one knew the severity of it. We finished recording our album in February of 2020, and then March was the shutdown. So
right.
I remember being in the studio with the producer and Brian, our other guitar player, and our other guy had already gone home. He's like, hey, my buddy lives in China and says there's a big problem happening. and we're like, maybe it'll hopefully we don't cancel the tour, because we had a tour ready for in March. And
right.
Man, there was no way to know what was coming. So at first we were so excited to be finished with this album and get it out and do what we normally do. So we were really bummed and heartbroken and hoping to God that this album didn't just fall off into no man's land. And we were scared of it at first. And then you start to embrace, well, here this is, and we're all just kind of adapting in the moment. And it did allow us to stay home, decompress, touch back. We're all family guys, so we all got little ones, so we were able to do that. But what really we tapped into that we never had done before was a lot of the virtual stuff. Like we did 2 different virtual concerts, and it was awkward. The first one was like we tried to do a full, like heavy, full plugged in live show, and I kept like trying to get. I needed that crowd. Like there's a moment where I, like you see my reflex, like put my hand out to a crowd that's not there. I'm like, man, this is so weird. But the platform of being able to reach so many people through the internet was, I mean, we had at least we had that blessing through the pandemic, because both of those virtual concerts really helped us sustain, and it also helped us hone in something we'd never done before. The second virtual concert we did, we rehearsed that, I would say, for 3 months, because it was an acoustic, but we rewrote all of our songs. So for a lot of our really hardcore fans, it was a great experience to give them, where in a normal environment, we would never have that much downtime to take our back catalog and completely rewrite it and change it. And it's called Deconstructed, and you can actually stream that on all the streaming platforms right now, Spotify and Apple Music and all that. But something like that would have never happened if it weren't for the pandemic. So it allowed us to kind of slow down and reflect and approach it in a different way. So it was a love and a hate all at the same time.
So what do you think about the streaming aspect of things? I know you guys, 2000s rock was some of my favorite, rock music, but streaming, I think, has changed a lot of everything. And how more difficult is it to make money doing music now when it comes to streaming, as opposed to people buying CDs? And you get over 1 million plays on Spotify, but is that, do you guys have a deal with Spotify? How do you make money doing that?
They give us $12 and a ham sandwich, so No, I mean, luckily we came along before the internet was really a crazy big thing. So we can't thank our loyal fan base enough for still coming out to live shows and buying physical merchandise, whether it's clothing or skateboards or actual physical music. The streaming is great. Again, it's almost like festivals. You can reach a large platform, and hopefully you can hook a few that'll be really hardcore into you and actually come to your concerts. But I can't stress enough, as a kind of a working musician, that going out and seeing the bands you love live, that's what feeds us. That's what supports us. That's what keeps us moving. We embrace streaming like we embraced the pandemic, where it was like you adapt and you figure it out. And streaming's, it's got its reach. It has a lot of positives, but it does not pay anything like the old days. So you have to adapt to that. And we're blessed to still be touring and having a fan base like that, and just kind of, again, adjusting and adapting. And it's the attention span that's the hardest part, I think. We're used to long format, like whole albums, and it's hard. You can't put all of your content out at once, because people will binge it and throw it away. You almost have to trickle it out. You got to dangle the carrot, so.
Jesse, I've asked a bunch of different musicians this, and nobody's had an answer yet, and I'm going to guess you won't either, but maybe you do. If you guys write, let's say, 12 songs, why wouldn't you just put 4 of them out there and then like 30-second samples for the other 8, and make even if the physical product was, say, $5, $5 for the whole thing, but here's 4 to give you a good idea of what we're doing. Why not go that route versus, here you go, it's done, spaghetti on the wall thing,
Yeah, I do. That's actually a great idea. But to give you the straightforward, brutal reality is, we everyone's in it to make money. We're in it to make money for survival, so we can keep doing it. To if we can't pay our bills and feed our kids, then we have to get a day job, which takes away from being able to do this. But also, most bands are on some form of record label, and a lot of record labels are adapting just like we are in real time, where they still hope that the sales will be this way and it'll be that way, and it's adjusting to how to make people buy stuff, because when you can pay for a $15 to $20 subscription to everything, how do you get people to buy physical stuff? And that's a great idea, is to not give it all to them.
Right.
And I think what we're seeing now that is actually happening, the more like pop world did it first, but if someone puts out an album, I mean, Nothing More is a great example. We're friends with that band, and they did a great job of like put a song out and not for months, like a few months before you put another one out, and you trickle it out online, and you just wait and get people, and you just kind of slow feed them. But then at the end of the day, you still have to physically have it all online. I think has a lot to do with, that the record labels, they're going to make you put it all online. I don't know if you could hold it precious to just physical. It seems like a good idea. I just don't know how to actually work out the logistics of that.
Well, and to your point about what Nothing More is doing as well, you're one song that doesn't connect away from being done as a band. Because you know as well as I do, put out a stinker now, and that's it. The fans are gone because they don't have the I don't know. We were raised to have passion in music, even in the for bands that came up when you guys did in the late 90s, 2000s. People were still buying merchandise. People were still. I can remember friend after friend after friend that had like 15 Korn T-shirts and the special Korn Adidas shoes and so like. We were all so into the bands, and I don't think that's there now. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's not the connection to any physical product as much as it used to be. And, it's got to be scary for you guys that have had success, but never were, I don't know, Linkin Park, I mean, Linkin Park could get away with a bad single or a bad album. You guys got to produce every time.
Yeah. And well, I mean, that's where it does put a lot of pressure on us, but it also to really try to dig in and not just kind of run through the motion this many years. I mean, the band formed in high school, so we're 10 years is 20 years into creating music.
Right.
So it's almost like really digging deep and figuring out how to excite yourself still and create stuff that you still feel proud of. And if we can manage to find that or hang on to that, then there's such an honesty that hopefully comes through in the music that people can grab onto, versus like, okay, we had a single that did this, so we're going to make every song sound like that single to try to just catch the gimmick. And I think when you're riding on a gimmick, it's a flash in the pan. You see bands like Cotton Fire come and go, and it's a tough one in that world. So thankfully, we've been able to weather that storm of like the one-hit wonder curse and like really challenge ourselves to keep creating and making stuff that we believe in that hopefully translate to our fans. But I think the biggest difference between the past and now, if I could say anything, is patience. The patience is, how does anyone have patience? I mean, scroll, just the doom scrolling of like, if the world is on all the time, 24/7 at a click of a button, how does your brain even process where to begin to even look? So we can slow it down to back to live concerts or going out to a movie versus sitting on your couch. You know good and well, if you're sitting down to watch a movie on your couch, your phone's still around you. You go, well, how old's that actor? And you just get sidetracked. But if you're in a theater, like ready to see Avatar with the glasses on, you're going to pause and watch it. Same as a real live concert. I think that catching that attention is very important because you make people stop their fast-paced lives, pay attention.
Good point.
Hopefully you connect there. They pick up merchandise there. And the rest of the time on social media, you got to be able to just kind of hang the carrot and keep them interested and throw the commercials out that show that you're still out there, Do
you think it has a lot to do with also the demise of regular radio, where there used to be a jock there playing CDs and records and used to play the music all the time, and now it's like computerized, and then it goes back to the streaming stuff. Radio, and rock radio especially, doesn't seem to be what it used to be.
No, again, I think it comes back to people. If you think back in the day, you had television and you had radio, and those were your two formats. That was it.
Yeah.
So and then magazines. So you could create mystique and mystery. Tool could be Tool. You know, like a band like Tool now, I don't think could have the same impact. And I think they're phenomenal, but not that super mysterious. Who are these guys? Who is Maynard? You know, like the mystique and mystery that was created back then was because there were three avenues. You had print, you had audio, and you had visual, and that was it. And the internet just exploded all of that. So yeah, it's real tricky to figure out how to do it, and also not for us being like kind of pre-internet. It's really hard for us to do all the influencer social media stuff and not feel corny, not trying to feel like we're just selling our stuff. Oh, check this out, we got this, and like cramming it down the throats. Because I mean, you know how it is. If there could be a cure for cancer out there, you won't find it because everyone's going to say they got their version of it and flood your brain with it.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, you just kind of try to find what you honestly feel like works for you and represents you in a truthful way, versus like really, unless you're just a great actor, or you know, in that sense. A lot of it is entertainment at the end of the day, and entertainers, you know, who I am on stage and who I am off stage are quite a bit different, but there's still an honesty to I think to rock music. Not saying there isn't other formats, but rock music has a lot of diehard fans because you're talking about touchier subjects. Pop music makes people want to feel good. Country either makes one of people feel good and dance or drink their sorrows away. But like, I think that rock kind of touches on an edgier emotion than the other platforms.
There's also something to rock about musicianship, actually being able to go out there and play instruments and not being auto-tuned and all the crap that they have. I mean, it is an honest form of music, whereas I think a lot of the other stuff isn't.
Yeah. You're competing on the more commercial the platform gets, the more things are going to sound like commercials.
Good point.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Jesse, let's talk about the not only the single that you have now, I Remember. We'll get to that one in just a second, but let's go back one. Let's go back to The Optimist, which I think is maybe the best song that you guys have put out in 10 years. I love that. It's got that upbeat, right in your face sound. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that song, man.
Well, man, thank you, by the way, because the twist on the irony in the song, or it's like Fix Me, where people hear a song like Fix Me and they're like, oh, this song's about someone trying to fix themselves, and it's the opposite of that. Right. I don't need you to fix me. So The Optimist is the same thing, where like you think it's going to be an uplifting thing, and it's like, I still have an optimist left in me. So the song originally in its first demo version had way more of an alt rock, like California alt rock vibe to it. It still had the drum beat was the same. It had the same kind of BPMs or movement or tempo, but it wasn't as heavy. And it sat in demo world and with us for a while, and we were like, it's cool, but it's just not there. And for me, it was kind of disappointing because I have endless songs where I've put my heart and soul into the lyrics, and then it just didn't translate in its final version to where it ended up just being thrown back into the bag. So we started working on other songs and this and that, and I came back to Brian. I was like, man, I really think that the lyrics and melodies, because the lyrics and the melody were all the same. We didn't change that at all. But I came back, it's like, it just doesn't have enough edge. It doesn't have enough balls. It doesn't have it in your face. But there's a message there that I think people can relate to. Brian's like, okay, let's scrap the music and keep the vocals. Okay. And he goes off by himself. And I said, well, keep the rhythm, keep the energy, keep the tempo. And he comes back and he has that na 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 na. I'm like, okay, I'm following you here. Where you going with this? And then it spawned from that. So he's one of those, Brian, I give him such credit to be able to take the vocals by themselves and do that, because I don't hear it. He can do that. So it was a song that was a different song that had a lot of potential, and then as musicians you get stuck, put it away for a while. That's also the pandemic kind of allowed us to do that a little bit, and learn to be patient with things instead of finish it and put it in the bag. Like, if it's not finished, put it away, come back to it. So where it is now, I'm glad you really like it because, man, it's a lot of it's one of those that plays really well live too. The energy that's one of our new favorite ones to play live recently.
Very good, man. Go ahead, Seth.
No, I was just going to ask you guys are playing Inkcarceration at the Ohio State Reformatory. Have you ever been a part of that festival? I mean, it's a hell of a festival. It's that old prison here in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wish you guys were coming to like Cleveland. See, this is what I mean about the festivals. I love the damn festivals; they're great. But again, look at me. I'm not going to sit there for 3 days. I'm going to die out there.
Yeah. It's a lot
I want
to
to
take
see you guys come to Cleveland and play some of the little joints that used to be around here and play. Or the
but you guys can't do that, right? Am I right in saying that, Jesse?
Is there a legal obligation? Is that why you can't do it?
Yeah. So there is a radius clause, and a radius clause gives a time frame and mileage. So if we agree to do these large festivals, all the bands on those festivals cannot play within a certain time frame and a certain mileage till that festival's over. And I understand it because if we're playing right down the street or less than an hour away and some fans are like you and like, well, I don't want to go deal with 3 days of 2 or 3 stages just to see them for 30 or 45 minutes. I'm going to go to the other one. And I understand why the festivals do that because they're trying to keep all those bands precious to where you're going to that. And yeah,
I get that. And I've been to many festivals over my life. Believe me, I've been to a ton of them. But I'm just saying that these people that control what you guys are doing, control it a little bit less, so that way maybe maybe it's not a year we have to wait. We maybe get a little bit easier access to these bands.
Yeah, that's the hope. Is that we're just doing a handful of festivals when we do them, and hopefully we plant the seeds, play a few new songs, and go, hey, we got new stuff coming out, and we're going to be touring in a more long format tour in clubs and longer set times, hour and a half, 2 hours, stuff like that. So people, again, it's like the commercial to the movie. I feel like that the festival's a great platform, reach a lot of people quickly, say, hey, hopefully we'll be back soon, because once you're done with that festival, you can talk to promoters and stuff and work out coming back soon. So, and this, I think this is our third time. I want to say third time doing this, and it's always been a lot of fun, but they keep getting bigger and bigger, days longer, more bands, more stages. So to answer you there too, I think that lots of times with the festivals, it's definitely the energy of a young man's game. You know what I'm talking about. You're like, I just want cheaper beer, shorter bathroom lines, and a place where I don't have to be in a mosh pit for 9 hours.
Right?
So, yeah.
Let me ask you this about those, Jesse, then we'll move off of this. But is it, and I don't want you to tell me numbers or anything, but is it financially worth it to give up 3 to 6 months worth of playing? Like here in Ohio, you basically can't play Cincinnati or Cleveland in that window. Is it worth it financially for you guys to do that one festival gig versus having the ability to hit all 3 places?
Yeah, well, again, to kind of give a little credit to these festivals and these promoters, they pay us more for that reason. So you get the festivals on average pay all musicians more than a typical just club day for that reason, to hold you precious, to kind of buy your time and buy your loyalty to hang out, and because they know they're kind of not screwing you, but they're holding you captive till the thing's over in that radius for that time frame. So yeah, they compensate in a way that kind of it levels out. And the hope again is to, with the festival, you leave such a ripple effect that when you come back through in the clubs, you got a nice attendance at those things.
Cool.
I was checking out 10yearsmusic.com. That's your the website.
Yeah.
10yearsmusic.com, and it says that you guys do a virtual meet and greet. Do you guys still do that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we used to do it, of course, all through the pandemic and stuff. We did that a ton, which was another learning curve, and it was interesting because we had to organize those things where we have kids. I have my kids like, you can't come in the studio or in this room, and wife's got to leave me alone, and we all live, the band pretty much lives still in Knoxville, Tennessee, and but it can turn into a whole day of these things because you try to piggyback on back to back.
Right.
We are not the type of band to just say thanks, see ya. So we'll get into the virtual meet and greets. Make it where you can do a little more long format Q&A with your fans,
Sure.
which we actually like. It's just being able to reel it in a time frame where it's like. So we did have to put a cap on the limit of the time because we'll talk right up to the end, but just to give them what they're paying for, and we still do them, just a little more few and far between than when the pandemic was really going on.
I think that's a great idea. The other thing I liked about the website is you can actually buy shirts that fit a guy like me.
Yeah,
well, it's not just extra small and for the skinny little rock chick or I could buy a shirt and it actually fits me, so that's good. I appreciate that.
Well, one of our guitar players owns a screen printing business and does a lot of other bands too, so he's pretty savvy on the shirts that fit right. You pay for the quality, and you get all sizes. Like not just stick to one little, I guess, trendy thing going on with a new style or something. So we try to make decent quality because we want people to get it again.
I try to tell bands all the time, like, look, there are fat fans out there. There are guys out there that are fat and they want to wear a damn shirt. It's not just the little guys out there that can rock a 10-year shirt. It's fat people too. So I appreciate that.
Baggy's coming back. It's weird. We're back full. I see it coming back like the 90s. I'm already seeing it because I've been skateboarding for 30 years and I've watched kids go through the skinny jeans and the super like Warped Tour emo. I mean, we lived through all that, and then now it's circling back around. And I'm like, whoa, okay, you guys are looking almost like me as a teenager right now. So I guarantee you that the whole style and trend it's baggy again.
Sure. Are you surprised that modern rock, the kind of music that you guys make, and that, there's 100 other bands that did it as well that have had success, you guys are all still pretty much out there. Not a lot of the ones that had success disappeared, unlike the 80s where all of the bands disappeared for a while and then came back. Seems like modern rock kind of, unlike any other generation, has kind of stayed the test of time for 25, 30 years now. Why do you think that is?
Man, I guess with the whole like 80s, it was I was talking to our sound guy, tour manager one time, and he was older than me, and he loves the 80s, and I'm a 90s kid. I grew up grunge and new metal and all the 90s stuff. And so to me, I was like, well, the 80s just can come off kind of corny or campy. And he's like, no, the 80s was a party and the 90s was a hangover. And I'm like, okay. So I think maybe with the 80s, sometimes if it's a party nonstop, you kind of have to, that's not how human beings, you can't party every night.
Sure.
And then a lot of the stuff created in the 90s, I mean, you listen to anything that Chris Cornell makes. It's timeless. It's absolutely timeless. And I mean, to be part of a wave of music and creative freedom like that happened through the 90s and the early 2000s it makes it, I think it's more reminiscent of like the 60s into the 70s with like Pink Floyd and Zeppelin and the Doors, where sometimes society and the culture has to be ready for that. And I don't think that the 90s would have been the 90s without the 80s. And
sure.
But I also think that a nonstop party kind of gets tiring, and with a lot of the stuff written in the 90s to now, it's a little more heartfelt. It's a little more personal, a little more one-on-one. You can just, you're not listening to it to go to a big party. You're listening to it almost as therapy.
Let's talk about the new single, I Remember. It's fantastic. I mean,
thanks.
How'd that come about?
It's funny because we'll be throwing ideas back and forth, and most of the time the melodies come first. Well, the music and then the melodies, and I'll just have a bunch of random poems and stuff. And then Brian had come up with just working lyrics, and he had an I remember, and the words weren't even close to the same, but I liked the phrase I remember, and kind of it sparked an idea to write into this whole idea of what it feels like to hold on to inspiration, try to hold on to what inspires you. Because as you get older, it's much trickier. It's much more difficult to be inspired the way you are as a teenager or a young adult, because life, let's be honest, life can humble you and sweep you on your ass quite a few times. So that I remember is like the very first line of that song is, I remember when all I had was inspiration. Like as a kid, when you're a new musician, you want to take, the world is your oyster. You want to take it on. And then 20 years later, it's like, do I still feel that passion that I used to? And if I don't, how can I find it? How can I remember it? How can I get back there?
Right on, man. Well, I tell you what, man, I figured the best way to wrap this interview up is to play a piece of I Remember so people can hear it. Of course, they can go out to YouTube. Once we're done, they can go to YouTube and they can hear the whole thing. Real quick, where should we tell people to go if they want to find tour dates, buy merch, and all that good stuff?
Just 10yearsmusic.com pretty much has everything. We also have 10 Years Music, Instagram, all the social media stuff. Sorry, I've got my dog in the background going crazy. I have a hound dog that likes to, he's trying to tell us where to go too. But yeah, just 10 Years Music, any platform.
Very cool.
Thanks, man.
Well, all right, man. Well, Jesse, good luck at festivals. Good luck at Inkcarceration, and stay safe out there, brother.
Thank you so much for having us back, man.
All right,
Come
brother.
to Cleveland. I want to see you. All right.
Definitely.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Trying to find paradise and a destination. Nothing's what it seems when my dreams wake up and vanish into the air. I'm hanging on by a thread, just a memory left for dead, and gone forever, gone forever. Can I survive burning lights, blinded by the bright side that I remember? I remember we vanished into the
Are you looking for a way to support the Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from the Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
What separates Triv's restaurant in Strongsville from everybody else? Some restaurants you go to eat the same thing over and over and over. But then there are restaurants like Triv's, where you want to go there every single time and eat something different until you have eaten every single item on the menu. Why? Because the food's delicious, and it has been for almost a quarter of a century. Triv's has amazing food, outstanding service, and an opportunity for you to have private dining, special events, and intimate occasions. You can enjoy a memorable fine dining experience in your own dedicated, intimate space. Visit Triv's in the heart of Strongsville. Call now for reservations, 440-238-8830. Triv's in Strongsville. Joe Burdick custom flags are amazing. Each flag is handcrafted to reflect the imperfect perfection, making each piece of patriotic wall art unique. This is a local small business, veteran-owned and proud. Joe Burdick creates symbolic artwork that is built to last. Display your spirit, pride, and patriotism by calling 440-305-2065 and let Joe's flag serve you. 440-305-2065. Joe Burdick Flags. Let me introduce you to Charlie's Auto Repair. Any car, any truck, any problem, Charlie's does it right. You know how it is. The check your engine light comes on, you put air in the tires, and the light is still on. 470-0170. That's Charlie's Auto Repair, 13728 Madison in Lakewood. Charlie can do it all, from small engine repair to fleet maintenance and system diagnostics. 216-470-0170. Charlie's Auto Repair. Let Charlie make your car great once again.
Are you looking for a way to support the Seth Williams Show? Get your Seth Williams Show merchandise today. From coffee mugs to clothing and everything in between, our high-quality merch is the perfect way for you to not only support the show, but show everyone what is the greatest show going today. Just go to shop.thesethwilliamsshow.com now, shop around, and buy some great merchandise from the Seth Williams Show. Shop today.
I liked it so much I wanted to play it again.
Wow, you must really like it. I can't wait to see you wearing that fishing hat.
Well, I got to order one. But I can't order one until people start buying some of the stuff.
That's right. Go get it.
There's kind of like a...
yin to the yang there?
Yeah, a little yin and yang. You know, you got to buy it, then I can afford to buy something for myself.
There you go. Perfect. Well, how was that with 10 years? That was great, right?
I loved it. I love that guy. I love that band. I love that song. The new song, I think it's just as good as like their first hit.
Yeah. 20 years later, they sound pretty much the same. It's good.
I wanted to say that. I didn't want to be a dick, though. Like, I wanted to say, man, you know, that the newest single sounds like their first breakthrough single,
Sure.
Wasteland.
Well, dude, you know what's weird is, remember last week you were busting my balls for not knowing their music?
Yeah.
So I spent the last couple of days really listening to pretty much every album that they've done.
Yeah.
I knew probably 15 songs.
I know.
I just thought they were all Chevelle.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, there's songs that they have that you realize, I heard that song numerous times on the radio.
Yeah. I knew a bunch. I knew at least 10 songs that I had actually heard. And Wasteland was not one of them, believe it or not. But
really? Yeah, the biggest hit. But yeah, they were, I'm a big fan. I was really, you know, I don't get starstruck about stuff, but I like talking to bands and people that I look up to musically and stuff that I respect and like their music. I mean, their music, for me anyways, they're one of those bands that kind of like, if you really listen to the lyrics of stuff, it's got that 2000s rock feel for me. And that, you know, the music that kind of is emotional to me when you actually read and follow the lyrics to it. It's not just some, you know, stupid rock song. So
well, I have a couple of publicists, 2 or 3, that work some really big bands.
Yeah.
And this was one of them, which is, and I'll pull the curtain back. There's a reason that sometimes we interview bands that you've never heard of. And that's because I keep them happy. And then when they got a big band like 10 years, it's as simple as, hey, can we do that? Sure. You know,
good stuff.
Good stuff.
I appreciate him coming on. I hope he wasn't pissed that I wasn't trying to, bag on the festival thing. It's just, for a guy like me, dude,
dude, he gets
overweight. I'm going to die out there.
He seemed to get it. He seemed like look, if we were talking to him at the bar instead of in public, I think he'd be the first one to say, yeah, I don't go to fucking festivals ever. You know?
I mean, they're playing a show like the day before, like in Wisconsin or something like
that.
So, like, they're not even going to be there for the entire festival. They fly in for their Sunday gig, and, that's cool.
Yeah.
But when you go to these things, man, sometimes you're just, some of these festivals, dude, even back in the day when I worked at MMS, dude, doing the Oz Fest and those kind of things, you just get tired. It's a long day. It's hot, and they always do these festivals in the summer, obviously.
Of course.
So it's 8 billion degrees outside, and you're just trying to make it through to the band that you really want to see.
Yeah. Dude, I've gone to Rock on the Range several times, and most of them I had press passes for. And quite honestly, I stayed in the press tent most of the time because at least it was air conditioned in there. I missed all the bands. I'd see like the 2 or 3 that I really came to see, and then I'd spend the whole rest of the time in the press kit.
I went to an Oz
press tent.
We're gonna get to Tony Massage here in a second, but
okay.
I went to an Oz Fest. I can't remember what year it was, but it was at the Akron Rubber Bowl.
Okay.
Now, if you know the Rubber Bowl, there is zero shade for you to go.
None.
To sit in. And then some of the slabs you're sitting on are just hot concrete.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nightmare being out there. I'm watching some band called Snot.
I love Snot.
A great band. Fine. Yeah. But I didn't go to the festival to see Snot.
Right.
I went to the festival to see the bigger bands. And,
Hey, you went to see Pantera, Korn, or
Pantera,
Disturbed, or
Korn,
one of them.
One of those guys. And I'm sitting there watching Snot. I'm melting to the pavement. I'm walking on the ground out by one of the other tents. My shoes were literally sticking to the ground. It was so hot.
Oh, yeah.
And so finally, I said, I got to get out of here.
Dude, the worst one, I'll tell us quick, and then we'll get to Tony. I went to the Ozfest I went every year that they had it here. But the one year, one of my favorite bands of all time is the band Devil Driver. Yeah. And it features the guy that was the singer of Coal Chamber. Yeah. But he went off and formed a much, much heavier band. So the only real band I wanted to see that day, the only two, was I think it was Pantera and Devil Driver. Only two bands I wanted to see. Pantera was on right before Black Sabbath.
Of course.
Devil Driver opened at 10:30.
Oh, God.
So I went out to see Devil Driver. I get there at 10 o'clock. I'm out there. There's like 50 people only to see them. Pouring rain and lightning storm. So I stood outside because it was at the back. It wasn't in the pavilion. It was at the back stage where they cleared out the parking lot. Yeah. Stood in the rain for them. Then spent the rest of the day baking in wet clothes, waiting to get to Pantera. It sucked.
Devil Driver is heavier than Coal Chamber? How does that
happen? Devil Driver's damn near a death metal band.
All right, I got to check them out.
All
right, let's go to, speaking of death metal, let's go to Tony Masaccio.
All right.
Tony, how are you, my friend?
Great. Do you see what's on that glass? I am here live at BJ's on Harvard Avenue in Orange. They have 219 locations across the country and growing. So I love the name of restaurants. Seth, you worked at Hooters.
Yes.
It wasn't because they were owls, as you well know. So AJ's was actually, it started off as AJ's. When they had a trademark, AJ's restaurant was already taken. So they got the next initial. There were two brothers. So they went to BJ.
Okay.
I just want to know, did they do it for the initials or do they like BJ's?
Well,
who doesn't?
Well, judging by your camera work, I think that you like BJ's because all we see is your mouth again. So
you see my mouth again. You see my whole
Tip,
you got to show my whole. Can you show my whole face?
There you are.
There we go. All right, guys. Again, I am here live at BJ's.
We see your mouth and you're talking about BJ's. So,
That's fantastic.
I thought she was doing it on purpose.
That's a good one, Seth. I love that. So anyways, there's 219 stores across the country and growing. They started in California. They have a huge presence in Chicago. They have 4 locations here: North Olmsted, Mentor, Orange, and they also have one in Fairlawn. They started as a small little restaurant, and it became a brewery, which now they have, I'm going to have Aaliyah actually show the wall. They have over 52 beers on the wall.
Wow.
Which most of them are theirs. And they do a different beer every month. So they actually have a different brew that they open up. I tap a keg once a month. Just like all the other breweries that are across the country here. So they specialize in beer, which is neat. But you got to come here for the ribeye steak, which is to die for. Parmesan cheese on the mashed potatoes with asparagus. Seth, have you ever had asparagus? I got to ask when there's a vegetable in front of me. Have you ever had asparagus?
Yeah, what is that?
It is. Isn't this funny, Chris?
How could you not have had asparagus?
Wow.
So, Seth, you know what? I'm going to take you to have asparagus because when you eat asparagus, your pee smells funny. Very true.
So that's the bonus of asparagus is that my pee smells funny.
It's very good for you.
And it tastes good too with a little bit of butter on it. It's fantastic.
Yes. Just like broccoli. Broccoli is wonderful. You said it, Chris. With a little butter on it, it's one of those great vegetables.
Absolutely.
And again, you know what? All the green vegetables, even broccoli, anything green, which I know you don't eat, Seth. You got to eat green. It'll help you live longer. They also have a gluten-free brownie here, which is absolutely delicious. And they're also known for their pizzas.
That's a brownie?
This is a brownie.
Oh, my God.
With a scoop of ice cream. Is this cool?
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, again, I didn't know that I was going to come here. I was actually going to go to Cooper's Hawk, which we were already there about a month ago. And I stopped in here. Lou, who's the manager, took care of me. He said, you know what, Tony? Just order whatever you want. Give us a nice plug, which is what we do. So
That's right.
If you love beer, you got to check this place out, though. They have some of the coolest taps. And what's cool about it is if you want a little taste, all you have to come in and ask for a taste of one of their particular beers, and you can enjoy a nice draft.
Nice.
So,
What's the days and hours at that place, Tony?
Actually, they're open 7 days a week.
Okay.
They're open for lunch. They're also open for dinner. They have a great patio outside. Unfortunately, it's 190 degrees out, so nobody's eating out in the patio anywhere, which is unfortunate. And, summer, and I always talk about patios, which we, have such a short life in Cleveland, Ohio, because February comes so soon. And it's unfortunate that, now you're walking into air conditioning to eat. And unfortunately, guys, it's very slow here tonight, obviously because of this temperature, which is tough. So, we got to patronize these local restaurants. And of course, even this one, because it employs a lot of people, this entire area, which is Pinecrest. And I am going to concentrate on this area for the next 3 or 4 months because it's really a cool area right off of Harvard Avenue. We've already done Pinstripes. We're going to go to Firebird. We're going to go to Palms. So again, we got to check out all these restaurants.
I'll tell you what, you guys don't understand though. I do eat green. I don't understand what you guys are talking.
What do you eat green? Green ice cream?
Green M&M's, green Skittles.
That's fantastic.
Those are green. If green is healthy, I'm good to go.
You are good to go. Oh, that's too funny, Seth. Seth, you do have to change your diet. Not that a steak is going to make it, but you do have to eat a little bit more vegetables, some more fruit. I'm going to have to go to a market. Maybe I'll do Miles Market one evening on a Wednesday and go. My friend Joe DiGattano runs it, and we'll go through all the fruits and vegetables that you never heard of.
What's a market?
And it's that's a good one. It's Miles Market, located in Solon. That is funny because you don't know what that is either. Seth, what did you eat when you were growing up? Did you eat was it like the TV dinners that your mom put in the oven and that pudding that was able to stick to walls, and the chicken that you didn't even know what to describe what it was?
Ronald McDonald was my stepdad.
He was your stepdad. That's too funny. I got to tell you, talking about Hooters, though, when I mentioned it at the beginning of the hour, they had the best wings. Those wings were huge.
Oh, yeah, they were great. Yeah.
They were like dinosaur wings, like crocodile wings. They were breaded. It was a great place that you were. It's so funny that when you were there, I worked at Multiflow, starting at Multiflow years ago. We probably crossed paths, and we never even knew each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Because that was my territory. And that's, Chris, I don't know if you remember that or not, but that's when the flats there were 100,000 people that walked through those streets on a Friday and Saturday evening, and the demise of that was there was no security. There were more people in that area than there was a Browns game.
Sure.
And that was the unfortunate part of why it died, because then people started getting in. I actually owned a limousine business at that time. We made a ton of money dropping people off. We were like the first Ubers at $30 an hour. Think of that.
It got out of
control. It was really cool.
It got out of control.
It did get out of control. So, hey, so this lady meets this gentleman, and they have 4 children. He unfortunately dies. Meets another guy. She has 3 more children. He unfortunately dies. So fast forward, she's met and married about 5 guys, and they all passed away. So at her funeral, the priest was over the casket saying her eulogy and said Mary was a beautiful woman. She had 7 husbands and she had 14 children that God would have loved. They're beautiful kids. And now they are finally together. One of the mourners leaned over to the other mourner and said, What is he talking about? The husbands that died? The other mourner said, no, her legs. Tony Masaccio reporting live in Orange at BJ's. What a great name.
Thanks,
and guess
Tony.
what? You can hear me every Saturday morning on 1490 WERE between 10 o'clock and 11. This Saturday, I'll actually be back at BJ's.
Fantastic.
So,
hey, you know who's
guys,
coming on the show? Robin
Yes.
Swoboda said she's going to come on the show.
oh my God, will you please tell me when she's on because I want to get in and talk to her.
Yes.
Will you tell her that
would be
joke,
really
Tony?
cool.
Will you tell her
No.
that joke?
No, but I can tell her a clean joke. She actually, Chris, we go way back. When I was on the Big Chuck and Little John show,
Sure.
we became great friends. So, yes, what a great lady. I love her.
she's
Good
wonderful.
for you. That'll be really cool.
That'll be fun.
So,
Awesome.
guys,
Thanks, Tony.
again, I will talk to you next week.
Great.
Thanks again. Have a
All right,
great
Tony.
evening. See you
See ya.
guys.
All right, Tony. There goes Tony.
Yeah, I walked into BJ's once with Heather,
Yeah.
and as soon as I walked in, I walked back out. She's like, "What happened?" I said, "Didn't have what I wanted here." I was like, the name is very deceiving.
You're
Sure,
like,
the food
I
is
can get
great,
this.
but-
You're like, I can get this at home,
The food is great. I thought I could order something a lot different.
and not asparagus.
Yeah.
Had something to do with something to peas, but not exactly
Isn't there
that.
BJ's wholesale too?
I thought that
That's
was going to
her.
be cheap.
That's her. That's Heather telling you to stop talking about her.
That place looks great, though. I mean, it really does.
It does.
I've
Looks
never
awesome.
actually had food there, though, but it looks really good.
Looks great.
I've never had asparagus, so that is the honest to God truth.
That's amazing to me that you just. Tony's right. One of these days we ought to just have a freaking vegetable barbecue one time at your house. Just make you eat different stuff.
Iceberg lettuce is garbage. I
don't
I
really
love
like
iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is the best.
No, it's not the
It's
best.
the only lettuce that I'll eat.
It's not the best.
I ordered a sandwich the other day, and it came with this like dark green leafy crap on it. Took
It's
me
like
forever
spinach,
to-
isn't it? Isn't it
I
the,
don't know
the
what it
spinach
was, but it was
leaves?
dark and it was green, but it said it was lettuce.
That's
Didn't look
better.
like any lettuce I ever eat. So
But
what
you
I had to
didn't-
do,
Did you eat it or did you just
No.
pass?
I had to take it off the sandwich. The unfortunate part is then the cheese to my sandwich was stuck on this stupid lettuce. So now I'm scraping cheese off this lettuce with my knife.
Why would you just eat it? It's lettuce.
Because it doesn't look right.
But how different is lettuce taste? It doesn't have, from one to the other, it doesn't have that much of a difference of it. It barely has a taste.
I like the crisp, cool, refreshing taste of iceberg lettuce.
You like lettuce that you can buy a bowling ball of it for like $1.50.
Absolutely. Dennis in New Hampshire. How you doing, Dennis?
It's hilarious.
You got to do 3 hours with Robin and take calls. Dude, I'll be happy to keep Robin on as long as she'd like to stay on.
Sure.
And you guys have the ability to call in. We can make that happen. You can talk to Robin if you want to talk to Robin.
Yeah, we can make that happen. We
I
actually
was-
have to test something too. Not today, but I might have a way to actually have an actual phone number.
Oh, wow. That'd be kind of
I've been messing with it, but I haven't tested it live yet. I've only tested it with my cell phone to StreamYard, and it's worked, but I need to have like a third person do it. But
We were gonna. That would be really cool. But she actually gave me her phone number and told me to call her and said that
That's
she'd be
cool.
honored to come on this show. And I think that would be a lot of fun. 'Cause
yeah, that'd be great.
I think people will enjoy catching up with her.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
But I would love to have Tony go to a market and point out stuff that I've never eaten. I mean, what? Has everybody tried everything? I'm just the only one that hasn't tried. This
yes,
stuff? I
at
refuse to
50,
believe that.
you're 50 or almost 50.
47.
47, dude. At 47 years old, I think I had tried damn near everything. Now, I will admit, I'm an adventurous soul. If you put it in front of me, I will try it, and I have. I've tried everything from monkey to monkey brain to you name it. I've tried it. Especially when I was living over in Korea. Ate dog, ate cat, ate whatever the hell they would put in front of me, I would eat. I would try it. That being said, most people have tried asparagus. Asparagus is not like caviar. It's not like it's a rare thing. Asparagus is pretty common.
There are a lot of things I haven't tried, but we'll have to go down. Like a pomegranate. I don't even know what a pomegranate looks like.
It's that little, it looks like a grenade.
I don't know. So we'll have to do a show like that.
Looks like a bumpy pear.
Yeah,
It's an avocado. I
wouldn't
think that
even
might
know.
be an avocado.
I haven't tried that either.
Yeah, I don't know that I've had pomegranate either. I don't know.
But you've had an avocado, right?
I've had an avocado. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. Guacamole, not a fan.
Love
Never
some
tried
guac. I do
Never
love guac,
tried
which
it.
is weird because I don't like avocado, but I do like guac. It's weird.
Never tried guacamole.
You know, yeah, you get the original stuff. You know, the good kind, like they make it Taco Bell.
See, I'm going to be honest. I think that, and I tell my wife this all the friggin' time.
No.
I don't know what happened over my life. I don't know whether it was family trauma or drug use or whatever it was, but something happened in my early on development.
Right.
I'm thinking somewhere around 17, 18, 19 years old, somewhere around there, where my brain just stopped and said, I'm not going to let you get older. And so I kept these thoughts of just being a child. Now my body and everything else has unfortunately gotten older. Obviously, I look more than 47, that's for sure. But I think my brain stopped. So when it comes to like issues and stuff that I have to deal with, my brain's like, no, you don't worry about that stuff. When it comes to foods that I don't want to try, my brain's like, no, stop. Because I maintain this childlike innocence.
Right.
But the childlike innocence had definitely developed or stopped after puberty because I still have that in me too. Like, it was
Sure.
Like, all right, yeah, women, yes. Like, there's always, but so nothing has ever slowed down in my brain from when I was like,
Right.
the age of 16 to like 20.
How about this? Would you try this? The gummy hot dogs.
Well, that's an interesting theory. But I
They're
don't think
hot dogs made from whatever they make gummy bears out of.
Well, do they taste like hot dogs or they taste like gummies?
I don't know. I don't. Dude, it's so weird. Eric that I do Chris Hagan Presents with sent me pictures from, he was at some restaurant. You know, they were out playing a gig somewhere. And he sent me these pictures of all this different stuff, gummy stuff. It's like gummy hot dogs, gummy burritos, gummy. There's like gummy everything now. It's made out of like candy, so it's like a candy hot dog.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd eat that.
I'm gonna get some and try it. I will try it. I mean, they sell them at like Walmart or whatever, so I will definitely get some at some point. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'll order a set for me and a set for you, and we'll try them on the air.
Yeah, that would be good. I'll try that. Yeah, we should do that. We should have a food segment.
Well, we do, Tony.
Yeah, well, that sorry, but I'm saying like a food where like we try
Or
different
me
things.
and you
I
try different stuff.
Like Seth tries this for the week.
Right. I'll try gummy hot dogs. You'll try asparagus.
There you go. It's called reluctant maturity. I guess that could be it.
What do they call that? Maturity by choice. You've matured in the things you want to be matured in, and
yeah, I'm one of the few people that probably like lost a leg, and I was like, all right, but I get to replace it with a Superman leg. This is like awesome.
You're like, cool.
Yeah. Woo. The first thing I asked when I had my leg chopped off was, what happened to the tattoos? I don't know if that's one of the first things that normal people ask.
It is, dude. Let me tell you, I had a tattoo. I had tribal art on this arm right here.
Yeah.
That got burned off. You know, when I got in the fire, in the explosion. And that was my first question when I first came out of the coma. As the first question I remember was, is my tattoo still there? Because as bad as I was hurting and I was, you know, just out of a coma and everything else, I still remember how bad it hurt getting that tattoo. And I was like, is my tattoo still there? And they were like, don't worry about your tattoo, sir. Worry about living.
Right. Are they edibles? I don't think those are.
I don't think these are edibles. Boy, that would be great. Oh, if you could get stoned eating hot dogs, oh my God. Talk about Chris Aiken kryptonite. Wow.
I did a commercial for edibles, which is weird to do when on like a talk radio station.
Sure.
Well, actually, no, it was a commercial on MMS that ran for edibles, but I was working with Trip at the time, and I never tried those. I couldn't do it.
No.
I don't want to be like that. I don't want to. You know, alcohol is bad enough, But I think edibles, I like to be in control more than that.
Dude, edibles are weird. I mean, look, I guess I shouldn't be talking about drug use, but I was at a friend's birthday party maybe 5-6 years ago, and one of the guys that was there is also a friend, and he's like, "Hey man, do you want a couple of gummies?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And I'd never done them, but I'll openly admit to my love of smoking pot. I don't do it very often, maybe 3-4 times a year, but I do love it. I would love to smoke pot like 345 times a year. I just don't. I A, can't afford it, and B, if I start, I won't stop, which is why I don't. But so anyway, my friend offered me a couple of gummies, and he's like, "Dude, just eat like half of one, whatever." And I mean, they're little, like a gummy bear.
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, just give me a couple." And he gave me like 3. I ate them all 3 at once.
Ooh.
Dude, I was out there in Strongsville at Five Guys.
Yeah.
I'm just in a chair and I can't get moving. I'm like, I gotta get up. I gotta walk around. And I couldn't go. I was like, whoa, these things hit me a little too strong. It took me a long time.
All right, we're going to play a quick break and then wrap things up.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to play it at the beginning of the show, but I don't know if anybody missed it. I'm going to play my favorite TikTok video.
Okay.
Ever. Well,
all right, cool.
Not ever, but one of my favorite TikTok videos.
Cool.
So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Hang on. Hey, it's Seth. You ever wanted a message recorded by a really, really famous person? A happy birthday to your kid. Congratulations, you finally graduated to that niece or nephew or brother or sister, or a happy anniversary to your lovely wife or husband. Well, today's not your day because we're not famous. You can have myself or Chris Aiken record you a message of your choice, and it's only going to cost you $10. Not like those $250, $300, $400, $500 celebrities. You're going to get us recording you something hopefully entertaining and fun that you can keep forever. You can listen to it all day long if you'd like. A personalized message just for you. All you got to do is download the Cameo app or go to cameo.com, cameo.com. Look up Seth Williams or Chris Aiken, and we will record you a message. Who needs Brad Pitt when you have a face like this? Go to cameo.com today.
There's no place like home, and whether it's furniture, artwork, home accessories, appliances, or that one-of-a-kind collectible, Yellow Brick Road Online Auctions allows you to find everything you need from the comfort of your own home. The owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions has been conducting online estate auctions for over 8 years by providing homeowners with a stress-free process to liquidate all items that have accumulated over the years.
I'm Melissa Mendici, owner of Yellow Brick Road Auctions. Log on today to find your heart's desire.
Hey, it's Seth from Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road in the Pleasant Valley Shopping Center right next to Big Lots. You got to check out Mario, man. Great guy, does a lot for charities, but can perform miracles with hair. He even made me look clean cut. Does my hair, does a great job. Love talking to the guy while I'm sitting there. It's a great place to go, local business. You gotta go to Mario's Barbershop in Parma. Mario's Barbershop in Parma, 7526 Broadview Road. Again, in Parma, Pleasant Valley Shopping Center, right next to Big Lots. Or give them a call, 216-520-1977. That's 216-520-1977. Mario's Barbershop in Parma.
Trust Joe's Lakewood Computer at 14035 Madison in Lakewood. They have over 30 years of professional service handling laptop and desktop repair services, virus removal, and data migration, and much more. You can trust them with hardware updates to your computer's memory and hard drive. Call 216-651-3880. Whether you need a simple Windows install or you're interested in the latest computers for gaming, call Joe's Lakewood Computer at 216-651-3880.
This is Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, for attorney Will Spiegelberg. Will Spiegelberg is not only a name you know, he's someone you can trust as your attorney, no matter the circumstance. Will Spiegelberg is an attorney you can always count on. Will Spiegelberg is the attorney you should contact for all your legal work. When you need an attorney, call Will Spiegelberg at 216-233-4240. Attorney Will Spiegelberg, a great teammate. 216-233-4240.
Back here, the Seth Williams Show with Chris Aiken, and I want to play this video.
Okay.
I think it's the most entertaining video that I've seen in a while. And plus, she's way hot.
Oh my god. Staples actually sells staples.
I'm telling you.
She likes sporting goods, apparently.
She does like sporting goods. The stealing of your information is totally worth it. Go to TikTok and download it today. I should do commercials for TikTok.
Yeah, really. we should be TikTok influencers just for selling TikTok. No specific channels. I'm going to answer Natalie's question real quick.
Right.
Yes, Natalie, those they are real gummy hot dogs. Here's an ad for them on Five Below where you could buy them. So you could actually go out right now and order them, and they'll be delivered to your shipped to home. You can get them shipped to your house. So yes, there is a such thing as gummy hot dogs.
Well, hopefully we'll be trying some. I gotta try new things, I guess. But.
I haven't tried these yet, but I'll give it a go, see what it tastes like. I hope it does. Man, if it tastes like an actual hot dog, that'll be kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to eat that.
I'll try it.
Hot dogs to begin with.
What? What are you, communist?
It depends on where I'm at. Like if I'm at a ballpark, I'll eat a hot dog all day long.
Yeah.
But if I like at home, I look at it as it's like poor people food. Because when I make hot dogs here, I don't buy like good hot dogs. I buy
30 for $4.
Yeah, it's like those Smithfield $1.50 pack of 12 hot dogs and
made with mixed meat.
Yeah, you don't know what the meat actually is.
Anytime it comes with a banner on it that says all of the beaks removed, you're like, I better not eat that.
And then I because I still haven't gotten a tank for my grill, when I make hot dogs, I boil them.
Boil them up, yeah.
And so then they just taste soggy and crappy.
Microwave, good enough.
Yeah.
Microwave for a minute, little piece of Swiss cheese on it. Now you're talking.
Swiss cheese, that sounds pretty good. I put American on it usually, but Swiss is my new favorite cheese. So.
Yeah, you put a little Swiss cheese on it, just a little. Not even like a whole piece. You like break a piece in half just so that you get a little bit of that flavor in there. Now we're talking.
I want to thank Jesse from 10 Years coming on today.
There you go. Made your rock dreams come true, dude. Gave you one that you really liked.
What if many rock dreams still to come? So.
That's right. Well, we got more coming, so.
Monday. Who do we have on Monday? The 10th. Yeah, that's Monday. A guy from the Babies.
That's right. John Bazaha from the Babies and Firefall.
Yeah.
He's going to be coming on to talk about, I think he's talking more Firefall because Firefall has a new album coming out.
Well, that'd be cool.
If you believe that, Firefall has it. When was it? What was their? They were what, 1972?
Yeah, and what's funny is as soon as you said we're going to have them on, I went out with Heather and the song was on the radio, which is kind of weird because Magic was having like an all 70s weekend.
That nice. That's cool.
So
that'll be cool, right?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yep. So we're going old school. We're gonna for the old heads that are listening. We're going old school for you with some old music.
Well, I think that'll be fun. So
yeah, it'll be great.
Monday, along with many other things.
Yep.
Have a great rest of your week.
Yes.
Good weekend. Hopefully, I get my daughter back tomorrow. She's supposed to be flying back from South Carolina, but it's supposed to rain again.
See, all the worrying you did about New York City, and that clearly didn't turn out to be the problem.
So get this one.
All right.
If it's raining tomorrow and they have any kind of alert out, she won't be able to fly by herself. So the plan is that my dad will have to buy a ticket to fly with her on the plane all the way back to Cleveland. And then
they won't comp that?
No, and then buy another ticket to fly all the way back to South Carolina that same night because they only go Thursday and Sundays from Savannah Airport to here. And if he can't do that, if there's no room on the plane or he can't get back on another plane, he's going to be driving her from South Carolina.
Oh my God!
All the way up here.
Your dad's how old?
74.
Jesus, and he's driving across the country. No thanks. I don't even like to drive from here to Bay Village.
Telethon Monday gets the propane thing. It's only, look, and I got this damn grill because I've always wanted a grill. Like I haven't had a grill in 20 years. I had one in my first place that I ever got on my own, and it was great. Love sitting there cooking some stuff up, having a beer. It was great. So that one broke. I've always wanted another one ever since then. Couldn't get one because of the places I lived at.
Right.
And so I finally bought one. I was like, all right, sweet. I got a grill, patio, everything. It's great. Got a slab of concrete outside the patio where I could cook, and it's going to be fantastic. Then I never got a tank. So now I've missed Memorial Day, which is a grilling holiday. Never got it done. 4th of July, grilling holiday, nothing. So I'm looking at
Labor Day?
Christmas as my target grilling date.
Nice.
So we'll see if it happens.
Too funny.
But thanks, everybody, listening tonight. And God willing, we'll talk to you again on Monday.
See ya.
See ya.